Hey guys, it's CatTU23 here with finally the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 video. I know it's been a really long time. Uploads not really doing very well, but I will seek to that manner and see if I can make some more time for myself. So guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to help support the channel. And so, back to this. Well, usually if you've seen the Xbox One and the Xbox Scarlet video, well, I did it like that, but this is gonna be PS5 and PS4. I didn't have any good time to get out any kind of good information. So, this person's gonna explain the PlayStation 5 first. I really hate doing this backwards, but why not, I guess. And if you want to check him out, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. So, let's check out what he got to say.
The dripping faucet of PlayStation 5 news continues to drip as Sony's next console actually has an official name and a release window. It's going to be called PlayStation 5. And Sony says it'll hit in time for the 2020 holiday season. Right, so we knew that all along, but there's actually a nice new chunk of information about the PS5's controller and its solid-state hard drive as laid out by Wired in an interview the site did with Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan and system architect Mark Cerny. We all knew the PS5 would pack in an SSD, but this latest round of information dives a little deeper into what kind of benefit the storage technology could provide. In previous consoles, a drive needs to physically spin around in order to search for information, a process that forced developers to duplicate data numerous times so that a drive would have an easier time finding it. That won't be the case with the solid state, meaning we'll see some more efficient blocks of data. Now, all that space saving could net interesting results, depending on how devs choose to use that extra space. Cerny said it could lead to more detailed game worlds or smaller game patches. The only thing we really don't know is the size of the SSD, which you gotta think at this point anything less than 1 terabyte just isn't gonna cut it. It also sounds like an SSD will get rid of having to slow players up so more of the game can load up in the background. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You ever go through a spot where you're just like needlessly smashing a button or lifting a thing to access a new part? But just for a moment, let's have a moment of silence for the needlessly loading elevator. You'll be missed. Cerny went on to say that games will boot up much quicker than before, but they'll also give players the option to install individual game modes, like if you just wanted to install the multiplayer portion of a game. This will also work along with the console's new UI, which promises more transparency and accessibility, specifically letting players know their options for game installations and what kind of game mode they can jump in with a friend who might already be playing. Now, Wired's Peter Rubin actually got his hands on a prototype PS5 controller, which I would assume will be called DualShock 5, but we just don't know the name yet. He said the new controller looks a lot like a DualShock 4, which I have right here, and it's going to have USB-C because of course it should. But under the hood of the new controller are where all the improvements lie. It'll feature what they're calling adaptive triggers, which can simulate different levels of tension, like say if you're pulling back on a trigger to simulate the pulling back of a bow and arrow. The controller will also ditch those rumble motors in favor of haptic feedback, which will let developers program vibration effects more precisely. Now, Mr. Rubin tried out a demo with that technology and said it was able to convey the feel of different surfaces, like the sloggy feel of sand, slippery ice, and even the sensation of jumping into a pool. How a controller does that, I have no idea, but it sounds friggin' awesome. Now, if all that sounds like the PS5's controller might be a little heavier, you're right, it will be, but it should be a bit lighter than what a current Xbox One controller feels like with the batteries installed. And also, if you were worried a little bit about what Mark Cerny previously said about the PS5 and ray tracing, that's the new GPU technology that allows for ultra-realistic lighting and reflections. He clarified in this interview saying it would be achieved through hardware and not instead a software workaround. Oh, that's comforting. So there you have it, a nice little chunk of PlayStation 5 news. I'm starting to get excited, and it sounds like we're only going to need to wait about a year to play this thing, which is totally fine because think about it.
Hey bro, nobody cares about that. Okay guys, so that was the end of the PlayStation 5 review. I hope that helped some of you out. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the video. And I bet some of you at home are like, hey, can't we just look it up ourselves and see it for ourselves? But there's some of you guys that just are so lazy. Well, I'm not going to blame you. I'm pretty much lazy like that sometimes too. But anyways, the point is, you want to get a quick video with both answers. And most videos on any type of media won't give you both answers. So that's why I'm putting this video together with two of the two things you want to know. So anyways, now I'm going to show you IGN. If you're a fan of IGN's, like reviews and things like that, I am one as well. So, this video is going to talk about the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's still a PlayStation 4. It's just it's going to talk about upgrades and stuff like that. It's not going to talk about the regular PlayStation 4. Well, it's still going to have the same features. It's not talking about the PlayStation Slim. It still has the same features. So, let's go.
With the PlayStation 4 Pro, Sony looks to step into new territory by offering a mid-cycle, higher-power version of its successful PlayStation 4. On paper, the Pro certainly has the credentials to significantly enhance existing and future PlayStation 4 games. But in practice, the results range from good to underwhelming, depending on what game you're playing and what kind of screen you're playing on. Physically, the Pro packs a lot of potential in a relatively efficient space. The additional 1 gig of DRAM, the second GPU, and the extra power required to feed it don't add as much bulk as you'd imagine, or from how it looks in pictures. At 11.6 inches wide, 2.2 inches high, and 12.9 inches long, it can fit into practically all the same space as your launch PS4 can, unless it was a really snug fit already. It is significantly heavier though, by around 30%. The Pro sports 2 USB ports together in the front and one more on the back, which is great for hooking up a PSVR. The Pro thankfully also has an optical audio port, unlike the new slim PS4. Dolby Digital headset users can breathe a sigh of relief. Overall, its weight, curved lines, and glossy finished PlayStation logo give the Pro a substantial, premium feel, but the cheap-feeling eject and power buttons, which are comically tiny, betray the aesthetic just a bit. Other than that, this is mostly the same PS4 we know and love. That also means there's unfortunately no support for 4K Blu-ray playback. Of course, the big new feature is the ability to output at true 4K 2160p if you have a TV to support it. However, the actual resolution of each game is up to its developers, so your results will vary. Currently, all games that support the PS4 Pro offer some form of higher resolution setting, but few are actually rendered natively at 4K, resulting in mixed visual impact on 4K monitors. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Rise of the Tomb Raider, for instance, both look fantastic with the enhanced resolution options selected on a 4K screen. Lighting has a wider color range, and everything looks significantly cleaner, especially around the edges. Particularly with Mordor, everyone who walked by while I was playing stopped to gawk, even though it's now a 3-year-old game. On the other end of the spectrum is something like Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Not only is it hard to find any appreciable difference in visual quality, but the higher resolution seems to cause deeper frame rate dips than I remember seeing when I played through originally on PlayStation 4. The Pro's power isn't just for people with 4K monitors, though. When developers choose to take advantage of it, there are some nice visual upgrades for the vast majority of us still on 1080p sets. but again, that varies game to game. Shadow of Mordor, Infamous Second Son, and Rise of the Tomb Raider are good examples of what full-featured pro support can look like. They give you options. Infamous and Tomb Raider offer a high frame rate option, and especially in the case of Tomb Raider, this boosted performance dramatically over the standard PS4 version. Simply put, while the ambiguously named Enhanced Visuals options helped some shaders and reflective surfaces pop a bit more, the difference is negligible compared to the roughly 50 to 100% increase in performance that I witnessed. I hope developers provide the high frame rate option on every game going forward. The big issue here, even with the games that leverage the Pro well, is the lack of consistency and clarity regarding what enhancements you're getting from game to game and even from mode to mode. Mordor in high resolution mode super samples on a 1080p TV for a smoother image, but do other games do that and just not mention it? I don't know, and neither will you. Most of the time, you just don't know what you're getting. The PS4 Pro is a premium-looking machine that offers a lot of extra power for developers to exploit, but right now, even on a 4K screen, the differences are only sometimes stark enough to make standard PS4 owners jealous. What's worse, there's simply no way to reliably know what enhancements you'll have to choose from. In time, with more support, the PS4 Pro has the raw power to potentially deliver greatly enhanced graphics, but right now, it's just too much of a crapshoot. For everything on the PlayStation 4 Pro, stay right here on IGN.
What in the world? Why does this image look photoshopped or something? Okay, guys. I hope that video was helpful for you. So, if you haven't seen the Xbox One, Xbox 2 video, I'll leave the link in the description there. I hope this information helped you. And both of those channels you watch, I'll link them in the description too. And please make sure you subscribe and like this video before you leave. Because, come on, what kind of person watches a video, leaves, but still wants to watch the channel but forgot the channel name? So that's why you got to subscribe, like, and yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.